welcome to On Your Move. I am JoAnna, your host, and I'm excited to get you seated in a chair to do a workout anywhere. That's right, at work, at home, at the subway station, at the bus stop, or wherever you are. Where you can sit, you can get your workout in. That's right, and you can do it in 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I ask people, do you think you can get fit in 5 to 10 minutes? Like, no, you need at least an hour, until I take them to through the anywhere there's a chair workout. So what we're gonna do is you go ahead and grab your chair. It doesn't matter what kind you have. You can do a metal one, you can do a wooden one like this, and it doesn't matter if it has handles on it. You guys ready? Go ahead and grab that chair. We're gonna start with some cardio, just like so. So this is an advanced to intermediate move, and what I'm doing is I'm folding and bouncing my arms as well. So I'm getting that good, nice upper body work in there. But if that's too much, you can come here, still move your arms, and just go side to side. Remember, it's the movement and the motion and working of the muscles that makes it fitness. Let's go back to those hops. 20, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 11. 10 more. 9, 8 to march. 7, 6, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's march it out. Release those arms. Now, your arms should be on fire. If not, you're pretty fit. Okay, we're gonna stay back here because we're gonna do a little bit more cardio before we stretch into our scoping and toning. We're gonna stay back here. If you're a beginner person, you wanna use and put the weight on the chair to slide the weight to the right, slide the weight to the left. This is for my beginners, okay? If that's still too much, still keep those arms there. Step, stretch the arms out. Step, stretch the arms out, okay? Here's what you're doing. Advanced people, we're here. And we're breathing. Again, getting that cardio on, using the chair. Now, why am I holding onto the chair? Again, I wanna engage the system of the arms and the abs and get my cardio up without putting too much impact on my knees, my ankle, and my back, okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, get jiggy with it. 3, 2, last set. Okay, march it out. Again, we should be good and warm now. If you did that, you need to email me and let me know that you didn't pass my test of anywhere there's a chair workout. Let's roll the arms here. Just to loosen them up, take them back here. Right to left this time. Catching our breath. Switch it out. Perfect. Now we're gonna take it back. You don't have to use the side of the chair unless you're advanced, okay? We're just gonna swoop our leg over and take it back. If that's too high, you can turn your chair around, over and back. So all we're doing, you're gonna hold yourself steady here in the middle, right here in the weights line, over, take it back. That's my beginner people, okay? Advanced people, again, we're gonna go over that chair and we're gonna bring it back and try to keep this leg here planted. What is the purpose? Balance and flexibility are two parts of fitness and exercise that's most neglected. So this is gonna help us with balance and flexibility. We're gonna balance with that left leg out here. We're gonna stretch the leg over by keeping it straight in its movement over, okay? So we're gonna balance here again, bring that leg over, take it back down, same thing again, repeat. And remember, you're doing yours with the flat part of the chair if in fact you're a beginner person. Okay, let's keep it moving. Working on that balance. This left leg has to stay in place. 7 more. Breathing. 6, get it up. Working all through here. 5, stretching the hamstring. Flexibility and balance. 4 more. 3. 2 more. 1 more on that side. How'd you guys do on that one? Awesome, take a deep breath. Because we have 2 legs, we have to work both for balance. And I mean balance and equal work. I'm gonna plant that right. We're gonna take a deep breath. Remember, advanced, beginners use the seated part. Ready? Here we go. Take it over, make sure we're balanced. Take it back, over, and let's take it back. Over, working on your balance. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Breathe in the entire time deeply. 8 more. 7. 6. Let's do 5 more. Stay with me, don't give up. 4. 3. Good. 2. Oh, come on, I know you got 1 more in you. And 1. Take it back. How's that? How's that? How's that? Good job. 2 thumbs up. Now, I know you've been waiting to do this the entire time. We're gonna sit down, but just because we've been waiting to do it and we're sitting down, it doesn't mean that it's gonna necessarily get any easier. Usually when I tell people, let's take a seat, they're like, oh my God, yes, that's what I've been waiting for. So for the next exercise, I'm actually gonna use a 10-pound weight. You can, or you don't have to use a weight. What we call is a pump and pedal. And the pump and pedal can be used with multiple arm and leg exercises. All it means is while you're seated, you're pumping the weight and the arm workout that's described and pedaling your feet. And we're getting ready to do that right now. Again, you can set your timer when you do these individually, independent of me, or you can just keep your count, increase your rep once it gets too easy, or increase the weight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our legs in front of us like so. I'm actually seated on the edge of the chair right now because it's easier for me to move my legs. And some people kind of have a hard time with this. They're kind of like pedaling here, but in all actuality, you're just gonna tap your heels and toes here. Tap your heels and toes, switch, switch. This is the pedal part, okay? Tapping your heels and your toes right here, and that's the pedal. And that pump and pedal happens the same way in the pedal, and it's the pump in the arms that actually changes. So we're gonna start off right now is the triceps. That's this area right back here. Again, you're watching television, you have your weight sitting next beside you. All you have to do is grab it during the commercials and say, I'm gonna pump and pedal during all the commercials. That's discipline, commitment, determination when you do that, okay? And you're gonna see the results. Here we go, we're gonna do 20 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, pump and pedal. 5, 6, 7, breathing. 8, 9, breathe. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. How's that? That's a pump and pedal triceps. Pump and pedal triceps, triceps, triceps. Now what we're gonna do is the waistline for the obliques. Same legs. Again, you're here. It's easier if you're on the edge of the couch to get the full range of motion. What is this helping with? It's helping with your knees. It's helping with your hips, your quads, without you standing up and taking on all that impact, okay? The thing that kills the exerciser is the joints being hit by impact. We're taking that out now and getting the work in, okay? And I'm gonna go side to side. I'm gonna lean back in my chair. So I'm gonna pedal and pump side to side. Working the waistline, I'm touching the weight side to side. I'm touching here and here. So the leg that's bent is the side that the weight goes on, okay? Pump and pedal, pump and pedal. 20, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 11. Last 10, 9, 8. Lean with it, ride with it. We got 5 more sets. 4, 3, 2, and 1. How's it going? Surely you're enjoying this pump and pedal. I know that you are. Now this pump and pedal is I'm gonna use one weight, We're gonna pump it above the head. This is not gonna be shoulder presses, but it's kind of a mid-chest press because I'm holding the weight center and pressing right across that chest. Okay, you guys ready? Let's start the pedal move. And we're pumping pedal, pumping pedal, pumping pedal. Good job. Let's start the 20 countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 15, 4, 3, 2, 11. Last 10, 9, 8, you got it. 7, hang in there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. You should be sweating like me now. Remember, this sweat is the bath that you're taking from the inside out for your body, okay? Perfect. The next one we're gonna do, it's not gonna be pump and pedal. We're gonna do a little bit of sculpting and toning in the quads and the hamstrings. And we're just gonna stand and squeeze, and we're gonna sit and squeeze. We're gonna stand and squeeze. We're gonna sit and squeeze. For these, you don't have to have a weight, but if you already can do this very easily, it's always gonna help for you to add some weight, okay? So let's try some examples again. It's stand and squeeze, and you're gonna sit and you're gonna squeeze. What is this helping with? The lower abs here, the inner outer thighs, and when I stand up, it's helping strengthen the quad as well as the glutes, okay? And we're gonna squeeze here. Here we go. Squeeze and squeeze. Sit, squeeze, squeeze. Sit, stand, and squeeze, and sit, and squeeze, and stand. Perfect. 19, 8, 7, 6, breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 11. Last 10. You got this. 9, hang in there. 8, 7. Give me 6. Last 5. 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Good job. Anywhere there's a chair, we're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna turn to the side and show you guys what we do before we go to break to get those abs tight. You're gonna hold your arms here and you're gonna pedal. And I want you guys to keep pedaling, just like this. You're in your chair, because anywhere there's a chair or a bench or a stool that'll hold you. Can you guys do this until we go to break? I challenge you right now, because remember, we're working out during the commercial breaks. And you have to keep working, right? After this break, you guys keep pedaling. We're gonna be right back. And we're gonna talk about eating. Eating, the thing you like to do. The thing you like to do all day, every day. We're gonna talk about that. You guys keep pedaling. Stop after commercial, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. I hope you did not cheat me on those side chair pedals, did you? It's okay if you did, that was your first time, but when you're doing it during the commercial breaks, make sure you keep going. You will see all of this go ahead and trim down. You're gonna be sitting watching television anyways, right? You might as well get your workout in. But I told you guys before the break that we were going to be talking about eating. One of those things that seems to eat at everybody. You have the signs on the highway that say, hey, go off this highway and get the burger, get the fries, get the donuts, the cookies, the cake, the ice cream, and all those things that seem so delicious. And we actually call them good, but most of it, not all, there's nothing good in it. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about eating, but you know I do faith and fitness. And so when it comes to our food, if we go back as early as Genesis 1:29, God says this, I've given you every seed-bearing plant that's good for food. And so that tells us a lot about the photosynthesis, the nutrition, the minerals and the vitamins that's in plant-based foods that contain their own seed. We know, I know, we like the meat and the burgers and the hamburgers and the steaks and the fries, and we like all the fried foods because that's what's being promoted on the commercials, on the television. We look at the burgers, and everything looks so great, but it's not real food. It's edible, and it won't kill you immediately, but it's not designed for your overall optimal health and longevity. It's just not. And so when I say eat more for purpose than pleasure, I don't mean that there shouldn't be any pleasure in your eating, but it shouldn't be all about that type of pleasure. Do you know you can find pleasure in eating good food, nutritious food? Food is not going to leave you feeling bloated or sick or icky or even looking that way when you're done. It's going to raise your biometric numbers to cause them to go in all the wrong way, like higher blood pressure, higher cholesterol, higher glucose, glycemic levels. You can eat nutritionally and enjoy that too. So let's talk about eating beyond the food that we see in our society that's being promoted among us. There are other ways that we eat besides eating what we put through our mouths. Do you know that when you eat a program like, and all the programs you watch on WATC 57, that you're eating good, nutritious soul food? Food that's gonna edify you and feed you and fuel you for your day from the inside out. So there's a way that food, the physical food that you put through your mouth, and the spiritual food that you let go through your eyes edifies you every single day. Not just once a year or through occasions when I want to go to a wedding or I have a big party coming up, but this food keeps you balanced all the way around. So you eat through your mouth, you eat through your eyes by what you watch, but then also your ears. Very, very important portals for eating. And here's how so. Hebrews 11 says this: faith comes by hearing. As a matter of fact, faith should never come by seeing. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing comes by the word. And so whatever you hear is what you'll begin to believe. So if you feel like you're angry and you're frustrated, you want to fight, or you want to go out and grab a burger, or that ice cold soda, or that milkshake, what did your ear eat? What seed was planted through your ear? What did you hear? Or if you're hearing a program like this, where I'm telling you that God said you should eat every seed-bearing plant, maybe, just maybe, that salad would look a little bit more tempting. But whatever you allow to go through your ears, it's going to fuel your faith or your belief or even what you begin to perpetuate and manifest in your life. Faith is a powerful food for your soul. But do you know that faith can be developed in the type of music that you listen to if it's music that is filled with violence and anger and resentment about society or whatever it is? That gets into you, and then you develop those emotions. But if you're listening to things like what we program here at WATC 57, you're going to begin to look at life optimally, positively. You're going to see your future as being good and great and exactly how God designed it. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing comes by the word. And then that hearing is backed up by what you see and what you eat. Let's talk about a guy named Daniel. We all know that Daniel was a captive taken to Babylon against his own will. And he shows up there in this place, and because of how articulate and educated and dynamic he is, along with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which were their Babylonian names, they had Hebrew names. Daniel's was Belshazzar. They have a foundation of faith, but they just don't simply believe in God. They believe in discipline and determination, education, information. They believe that they will perish for lack of knowledge. That's what they believe. And how do I know this? They never say it. You can just see it in what they did when they got to Babylon. You see, God and his worship and his practices and their rituals were not in Babylon, but they were. They were. And that teaching followed them into that foreign place. And when they got there, they were selected, handpicked by the king. The Bible says they looked good. They were educated. They were articulated. They were just dynamic, what we would call superstars of our day. And they looked at the food in that place, and they said, we can't eat this. We just can't. And we all sometimes, especially people who are familiar with the story, they'll say, I'm going on a Daniel's fast. Because Daniel asked the prison guard, the person who was responsible for feeding him, hey, you know, I really can't eat this kind of stuff. It's not going to be good for me, not just physically, but spiritually. I won't be able to hear God. I won't be able to see God. I won't be able to have the dreams that I need to have to stay in touch with my God. While he's not in this place, he's in me, and I can't contaminate this temple that belongs to him. And the guard goes along with Daniel and allows Daniel to eat beans and vegetables and water only for 10 days. And when he, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were done with that regimen for 10 days, they were brighter and fatter and stronger and more dynamic than those who had eaten meat and wine and drinks and sweets and all those other things. So when people say they're on a Daniel's fast, I just need you to know this: Daniel was not fasting at all. It was a way of life for him. He understood the significance of what he put in his mouth. And he not just understood the significance of what he put in his mouth and his spiritual connection, but he also was very, very strategic, consistent, and disciplined in what he let come out his mouth. You see, Daniel was a guy who prayed 3 times a day. Now, you would think that if someone's spending that much time in prayer, that they would be poor, right? Not Daniel. Daniel was promoted to what would be equivalent to the president of the United States position of our day. He was promoted, and he was a praying man who only ate a certain regimen of food. Isn't that amazing? That your prosperity and your promotion could be tied up in and connected to what you eat? And not only that, but Daniel had insight and wisdom, and he was positioned among the wise men of Babylon. But every time they called for Daniel, when they couldn't figure something out, Daniel wasn't there. He wasn't fraternizing. He wasn't trying to be in with them because he knew he was in Babylon, but he wasn't of Babylon. And so Daniel walked very closely with God. He stayed connected with God. He stayed connected with God through prayer. He stayed connected with God by keeping this temple in which God was dwelling within him clean by the foods that he ate. And then by what he watched, you can tell he wasn't around the king and all his entertainment like that. That's right. That leads me to the other thing that we eat: entertainment. What are you being entertained by? What are you passively listening to and participating and letting go in your ears? And then you wonder why when you're alone, you're filled with fear, or when something comes up in your life, you don't know how to push back against it. Daniel knew. He didn't get afraid. Let me tell you what challenge Daniel had. After all that, Daniel had a challenge from King Nebuchadnezzar. If you know anything about King Nebuchadnezzar, he's a ruthless king. I mean, he's the type of king that he would tell people, I'm going to cut you up into little pieces and I'm going to turn your house into rubble. And I always wondered, man, why not just cut them up in little pieces and leave them alone? But you're going to turn their house into rubble as well? This is the kind of king that Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and all the wise men of Babylon were up against, because Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that troubled him. It bothered him. And he called these people who had been his entourage, who were his wise men, the Chaldeans and the soothsayers and the people who were supposed to be able to read the signs of the stars. He says, hey, I need you guys to come and tell me what I dreamt. And I need you to interpret it for me. And so these people who are hanging out with the king and they're on his payroll, they say to him, King, hey, can't nobody tell you what you dreamt. Here's what we need you to do. Tell us what you dreamt, and then we'll tell you the interpretation of it. And Nebuchadnezzar is such a ruthless and dominant king that he tells them, you know what, you're trying my patience. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kill all of you guys because you're just taking my money, you're just on the payroll, and you can't even produce what I need to know for my dream. This is who Daniel was up against. And do you think Daniel got discouraged, or do you think Daniel was in despair? Absolutely not. Daniel went back, asked the guy who was supposed to take his head off, give us one night. He goes to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he says, hey, you guys pray. And I'm going to pray, and I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to ask our God to give me the dream that Nebuchadnezzar dreamt and give me the interpretation. And Daniel goes into a sleep, and God gives him his request. Daniel is able to see. He tells the king, goes to the king. He says, Nebuchadnezzar, while I was on my bed, God showed me the dream that you had in your head, and he gave me this interpretation. And it's at that point that Daniel's promoted. But I believe, and you should understand this. If Daniel had went to Babylon, playing Babylonian games, eating Babylonian food, doing what the Babylonians did, he would have died right along with them. But he didn't. He understood who he was, whose he was, and he kept his diet right, not just what he put in his mouth, but what he put in his ears and what he let go through his eyes. And when the time came, when he came against that king, he went to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and God gave him that dream. And he went to Nebuchadnezzar. He didn't go there saying, yeah, I'm Daniel, I'm a baller, I got it going on, yeah, because God gave me this dream. When he went and he told Nebuchadnezzar the dream that he dreamt, an interpretation, he said this verse, King, there is no man in the land that could do this, but there is a God in heaven that reveals secrets. There is a God in heaven that told me what you dreamt and gave me the interpretation. And I'm saying all that to say this. There are some things that God wants to show you. There are some things he wants to change in you. There are some things that he wants to bring you to. He has a promotion for you. He has some prosperity for you. He has divinely appointed position just for you. And is your diet standing in the way? Is your diet of what you eat through your eyes or listen to your ears or even eat through your mouth, could it possibly be standing in your way of growing spiritually because you're called, just like Daniel, to be a temple of the Most High El Elyon God, but yet because of what you feed yourself, you think you're a Babylonian. And then you're caught in this place. You're kind of here. You're kind of stuck in the middle, and some of us are mad at the middle, and we're on neutral because we're not moving forward and we're not moving backwards, and we're kind of walking around in the wilderness like the children of Israel were doing for 400 years. Could it be that you're stuck in that place because you don't know how to receive the simple manna that God rains down from heaven every day? He has a manna for you. Go on a fast. Try it. Jesus tells his disciples this as they are struggling to get this spirit out of this boy. He walks up and he commands the spirit instantly to leave the boy. And it happens. And they say, hey, Master, why couldn't we get it right? Why couldn't we get it right? In Mark 17:21. And Jesus says this, some of the stuff that you're struggling with, some of the things in your finances, your education, your relationships within your own self, it's not going to come out but by fasting and praying. And so when you go on a fast, ask God, how should I fast? Take Daniel's fast. That was a way of life. But there's a fast out there for you. There's food that God has for you to eat in your ears and eat in your eyes. It may not be popular. You may not even like it at first, but it's going to make you be better and feel better and have more faith. That's my eating schedule, routine, and menu for you. I hope you partake. I'll see you guys next time. Watch what you eat. Here, and definitely through your ears. JoAnna Ward, I'm out.